I'm Mike.
I'm Jason.
Welcome to Snake Envy. We're doing another question of the day. Today we're going to ask about varied diets. Do you think I've seen a few social media conversations about this of late. Do you think varied diets are beneficial? What do you think?
Well, yeah, I think they are. I mean, before I talk about a snake, I'm just thinking as humans, like, what if you ate freaking Cheerios every meal of the day, every day? Like,
yeah.
I mean, it's not going to be good for you day after day, meal after meal.
No matter how nutritious it might be.
Yeah. I mean, your cholesterol might be lower. But, yeah, I would think that different prey have different vitamins and nutrients and proteins and all that. I definitely think a rat is very different than a bird, like a chick, So
yeah.
I think the bigger variety is, you're going to cover more area. Like, as being into health and nutrition, like, you don't want to get all your vitamins from a peel. You want to get it from these vegetables, these fruits, this protein. Like, I'm just thinking, like, as humans, a varied diet's good, and I think that's goes as well with most animals.
Yeah, I would say three things quickly. Very few snakes that we keep in the hobby eat a uniform diet in the wild.
Yeah, there's a few, I think.
There's a few, but most of them eat a varied diet in the wild. Some definitely have their preferences, and then they'll opportunistically eat other things as they come along. But it's pretty rare that you have like egg-eating snakes who have pretty much adapted to eat kind of a single thing. Most are eating a varied diet in the wild. I think there's a reason for that. And as you mentioned, they do vary in terms of their fat content, how lean they are, the amount of protein, the amount of different vitamins. It's going to vary in different prey items. So I do think nutritionally you kind of round things out. But the last thing, and the thing that I think we don't talk about enough in the hobby, is that I consider it a form of stimulation, a form of enrichment. I think it's one of the best ways we can enrich our snakes' lives is to give them a varied diet. You probably have had this experience. I have it. I have some snakes who absolutely prefer a certain prey item. When they get a chick, and then I have other snakes where it's the opposite. They're not very excited about the chick, and they go crazy for the rodent. But they clearly have their preferences, and they clearly get excited about it. The other thing is that when you give them a new prey item for the first time, you and I fed one of your bull snakes a chicken egg that I brought from home, a fresh laid chicken egg. He had never seen an egg in his life, and he ate it.
Yeah, it took him a while to figure it out.
It took him a little while.
But he wanted it.
It was like putting together a puzzle. He finally pinned it in the back corner and got some leverage on it. That's enrichment. And so mentally and physically you stimulate your snakes when you give them kind of a puzzle to figure out by eating something new, and they absolutely have their preferences. And so that variety I think is important.
Yeah. And I agree with that. And I seen it with before I kept snakes, like I do now. I had a lot of lizards and frogs, and I would buy crickets and mealworms and all that stuff from the pet store. But in the summer months, I would go out and catch grasshoppers. I would get the hose out and spray that wall of the house, and spiders would run up out of the grass, and I'd get a jar and blow them into the jar, and when those hit the cages, those spiders that run fast and different than a cricket, oh my gosh, these lizards would go crazy over spiders. They were excited.
Yeah.
And I think it's the same way for snakes.
I agree. And live feeding. I think frozen thawed prey is the way to go, but I do feed my snakes live here and there, and it's for the same reason. It's for enrichment. It's to stimulate and exercise that mental and physical part of their anatomy that doesn't get used all the time. They get used to just kind of approaching frozen thawed prey and eating it. And with live prey, you can see them. They get excited, and they even snakes that I have never seen wrap frozen thawed prey ever wrap the live prey. They know how to do it, and you can't tell me that that's not stimulation and that's not enriching. So do it safely, but I think live prey is part of that varied diet as well. Please let us know what you think in the comments, and tell us what you think about varied diets. Do you think they're bunk, and do you think rodents is all they need, or do you believe in the idea of mixing in eggs and chicks, and even these days you can find feeder lizards. Reptilinks gives you the ability to put multiple prey into one little sausage, and they'll even mix in eggs for you. So there's a lot of ways to do it today, but let us know what you think. Varied diet's bunk, or varied diet's a good thing? Thanks.
See you next time.